Hi everyone, and welcome back to the next step of our walkthrough. We just finished our first dungeon, and now we're going to be going on to the next. Call of the Forest. Balderon has information on a new task. Ready to hear about that job then? Like I said, the request comes from our sister guilds in Gridania. And that's all I know, but whatever it is you get asked to do, I somehow doubt it pose any trouble for adventure and survive the bedlam of Shatatasha. If you think you might be interested, you'll want to have words with Mother Mimoni, me counterpart in Gridania. Good luck, lass. Great. No, I don't mean to go into an inn-room. This is what I wanted to do. Okay, the landing. Then we'll just take a quick ride over to Gridania. 120. There we go. I know that we can skip the cutscenes of traveling from one place to another. I'm gonna have to look into how to do that. Forgot how. But no harm done. And upstairs we go talk to her. Take a seat wherever you like, friend. Our waitress will come to take your... Oh, not here to dine? Dare I hope that you're the adventurer Balderon sent word about? You are? The matron be praised. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mimoni, and the Carline Canopy is my place. With regard to the task in question, there is a fair bit to tell. Let me know when you're ready to hear the details, and I shall brief you. And it's fire in the gloom. Mimoni is waiting to brief you on your task. Okay, nothing real special. Ready for that briefing? Good. Now then, here's the long and short of it. Beg pardons for interrupting, Mimoni, but our need grows ever more pressing. Have none stepped forward? And good morrow to you too, Bow Lord. Your need must be pressing indeed for you to honor us with a visit. The good news is your journey hasn't been wasted. I'm pleased to report that we have a volunteer at last, and one who comes highly recommended at that. My thanks for answering the call, friend. My name is Luwin, and I lead the men and women of the God's Quiver. Now, time is of the essence, so I shall proceed directly to the heart of the matter. We wish for you to nip a potential threat to Gridania in the bud. Beneath the central shroud there lies an underground burial site called the Tam-Tara Deepcroft. The place was once a Gamorrean settlement, but we Gridanians have long interred our dead there. Of late, however, shadowy figures have been seen skulking about the Deepcroft with ever-increasing regularity. Based on the accounts of various witnesses, we suspect that these individuals belong to the Lambs of Dalamud, a doomsday cult which sprang up prior to the calamity. I'm reading that and realizing just how strange that sounds. The zealots have proven themselves dangerous in the past, and we leave them to their own devices at our peril. Ordinarily, I would dispatch my best men to scour the Deepcroft with orders to flush the cultists out. Alas, the calamity decimated our ranks, and the limited forces at my disposal are constantly required to keep the exile at bay. The birdmen have grown restless of late, and I fear a storm may be brewing. In anticipation of this, I have been compelled to spread our fortresses throughout the Twelveswood, lest we be taken unawares. The situation so being, we must turn to others to deal with the lambs of Dalamud. Can we rely on you to undertake this task, friend? Well, that's why I'm here. You have my gratitude. Once you've seen to your preparations, pray make your way to the Deepcroft and identify yourself to the guard posted at the entrance. He will appraise you of the latest developments. That is all. Be careful out there, you hear? May the crystal guide you and keep you. So, we have to go to an ancient burial crypt, fight a bunch of cultists who are planning some kind of dark magic down there. Yeah, this is just a regular day in Final Fantasy, I'm guessing. Eventually, you realize just how strange everything seems to sound. You just kind of roll with it. It's just one of those days, I'm guessing. That's kind of what you're telling yourself. It's just one of those days, you just kind of accept whatever they have to throw at you. Right, so... I think it's down... Yeah, I see it. So we just sort of follow the road until we reach the crossroads, I'm guessing. The next crossroads, then. You know what? I think you just head south and eventually you find it. Oh, everything's going to be so much easier to get around once we unlock the mounts. And I think I'm going a little too far west. Head south. So, we're not exactly at the Aetheryte yet. It's a little bit further. You know what I just realized? It was probably going to be easier if I just teleported here, but I can't remember if I tuned to the Aetheryte here. I'm not sure. Okay, so... I'm just going to go check, make sure. Okay, so I didn't attune to it yet. Okay, we're attuned to the Aetheryte. Now we can head back and dive into a crypt full of dead things and cultists. You know, that sounds almost as strange as diving into a cave that's full of fish people and pirates. You gotta love Final Fantasy. Pretty much anything goes here. Right, now I know we're heading the right way when I see all these stone walls around us. Down here, there it is. Oh, what do you guys have to say? Childish curiosity prompted me to commit the most elementary of mistakes. Were it not for the fruit that Eline found, my adventures may have well ended in this forbidding place. Always look before you leap. In my haste, the most fundamental rule of adventuring slipped my mind. I do believe I shall rest here a while. At least you're alive. That's what matters. I shudder to think what might have happened to Ijadari had I not thought to pick the fruit I stumbled across earlier. Sometimes he has too much vigor for his own good. Age is supposed to mellow us, but if anything, it's made him more impetuous. I understand his desire to make use of the time left to him, but one misstep and there won't be any. Right, pal, you should really listen to your granddaughter. Gods, I hate mausoleums. It's not right to disturb the dead in their slumber. Think of our goals, sister. One day our adventures will be the stuff of song, and it will all be worth it. Unless you get killed. So we meet again. I cannot say I'm surprised to see you here. You took the prize back in Limsa, but this time we will give you better sports, or I'm no true adventurer. Well, good luck to you. You're Claire Fay, I take it. Thanks for helping out, friend. No doubt the Bow Lord has already informed you, but your task is to enter the Deepcroft and purge it of the Lambs of Dalamud. In case you're unfamiliar with them, the cult emerged shortly before the Calamity put an end to the Sixth Astral Era. The cultists took the lesser moon Dalamud for their god, believing that it would deliver them from the devastation, and so they were rather disappointed when Dalamud exploded into 1,000 flaming pieces before it could complete its descent. Now, having seen their god turn to ash, one would think the cultists might feel moved to question their faith. On the contrary, it served only to stoke the flames of their fascination. The Lambs of Dalamud are convinced that heretics, that is to say everyone but them, interfered with the coming of their Lord and Savior, and that it's now their sacred duty to avenge him. Whatever it is they're doing in the Deepcroft, you may be sure that no good will come of it. For the sake of Gridania and Eorzea at large, put an end to the Lambs of Dalamud. Okay, so we right back. Okay, so after running around for a while, I got bored of waiting. It finally popped, and we're ready to go into the Tam-Tara Deepcroft. And here we have another dark, depressing, gloomy dungeon. I can't wait till we get to some of the later dungeons where we're actually outside and we don't have to be stuck underground. But yeah, that really did take a while. Glad that we finally got in. And it left me with a lot of time to really think about what they were saying, about how these cultists believe that a giant satellite that contained a primal was their lord and savior. I mean, they were delivered from devastation at the last moment. I don't see why they are complaining about it. They should be happy that they're still alive. But, cultists, what can you do? Piece of advice, people, don't ever join a cult. They are very strange people. So far, nothing too dangerous. Mostly bugs, bats. It's to be expected. This is a crypt, so. Though it does make one wonder how the dead are walking around here. Like, do the cultists do that, or I don't know, is it like Final Fantasy X and we have like these unsent beings around who refuse to die? A lot of plot holes in this. But I gotta give these adventurers credit. I would never go into a crypt in real life like this. Never. Have a thing about dead things. Head off this way. Okay, so our first boss is right here. And there's some of our cultists with some imps. I'll say this about cultists at the least. They hang around very interesting characters. Not always good characters, but at least you'll never be bored. So things in this dungeon are layered very differently from most dungeons in that they don't really have like real proper boss fights. Like here, this isn't very difficult. It's mostly just take down everything in this area, deactivate the cultist orb, which is going to lead to the boss fight later at the end of the dungeon. Okay, the altar is no longer sealed. Plundered Curtis. And that's pretty much all the boss fights until we reach the final boss. So it's just really running through here, which is the annoying part. If you look below, you can see where the next part of the dungeon is going to lead to. It's not the most exciting of dungeons. It is pretty easy. And you can usually do pretty good time. Which is to be expected. It's only the second dungeon, so they have to at least try to make things simple, but different from how they did with the first. And after we're done with this dungeon, we're going to be heading off to Udal for the next. Oh, and the good news is I've started working on that top 10 dungeons list now. It's going to be a while before that goes up, but I'm looking forward to doing it. So if anyone out there has a suggestion to which dungeons they think is best, drop me a line down below. Alright, so like I said, there's not really much to this dungeon so far. Because the so-called boss fights aren't really considered boss fights, at least not to me, they're not considered boss fights. And it's mostly just one straight line. Which is most dungeons, but hey. Okay, next fight. We kill everything, and once that's all dead, they're going to summon up a demon from the void. We take down the demon, we deactivate the cultist orb, and then we move on. So it really does not change until we reach near the very end of the dungeon. So I'll get more to that in a minute. So far we're doing pretty good time. So this would be considered the second boss. That's strange. Our astrologian is going through their MP so fast. Doesn't normally go down that quickly. Okay, so now that that's over with, oh, I really do hate like these daddy long legs spider things. They just so ugly, they kind of freak me out. Like probably some of the ugliest monsters that they've come up with is those spiders. Yeah, I am not a spider fan. More dead guys. And we're on this bridge, which could normally cause people to fall to their deaths. It's a good thing that they have walls, invisible walls, so that we don't need to worry about it, but you know, in most games, you tend to fall off. Right, so more dead guys ahead of us. So I think that's mostly what's going to be waiting for us from here on. Just a lot of zombies and creepy stuff. But we should be nearing the last step soon. And we're doing really good time. Oh, that's nice. We continue on with the story for the Arcanist. More spiders. Nothing too dangerous. And here we are. Right, so the boss is right past that barrier up ahead. But first things first, we gotta kill these dead guys. And we have to find a special rosary to be able to break that barrier. Which looks pretty cool. But I never really understood the point of these barriers because I think you could just step around those pillars right there. Not exactly too hard. Yeah. It's okay, buddy. Yeah, like you said, it's no problem. Okay, so we had to go past these guys to like this little nook and cranny, and there's the rosary up on that altar. So you just kill everything here, grab the rosary, and then you can break the seal. Again, pretty easy. And then basically you just kill all those monsters that are guarding the path, deactivate the orbs, and that's when the boss appears. I should warn you though, the boss is ugly. Best that we let the tank usually do it. Because as soon as the barrier falls, all those imps are going to go charging right in at whoever broke it. Just like that. So, my advice, kill all the imps first. Of course, they went and killed the cultists first. Because the cultists, like, go down so easily. And there it is, the Void Soul Counter. Okay, Sante's saying, sheep shooting right out of the gates. You think we were fighting rogues. Well, most of the things we fight here are dead, so it's not like they need to worry about honor or playing fair. Alright, so deactivate the orb, that's one, and the other one's just deactivated.
Who summons me from the void to reside within this crude vessel? You seem surprised. Did you not cross our gates in search of blood? Come hither, children of the dawn. The undying master will drink deep tonight.
Like I said, he is ugly. I don't blame him for being upset putting in such a vessel. Right, so the boss fight here is also pretty easy. It's normally just tank and spank. Except when these imp appears and he's connected with that purple string of energy like you saw before. So long as he's connected to the imp, you can't do any damage to him. So you have to hurry and take the imp out first. And of course he's going to spawn all these other adds, all these other monsters you have to kill, but the imps have got to die as soon as possible. Otherwise this guy cannot get any damage. So once the imps drop, you go for the spiders here, and then you go back to the Dominator. And of course, every wave of adds that he summons up, there's going to be a few more every time, but like I said, it's really not that difficult. Okay, kill the imps first. Yeah, it's just like Sante's saying here. Okay, just 3 times, I think. And I forgot to put in the whole limit break here. Just finished killing off all those adds at once. And we are home free. There we go. Oh, that was a really good run. We got through it quickly, no deaths. I call it a successful run. Right, so we leave duty now. Oh, we even got a player commendation. And it looks like Odin is being seen in this area. Hey, now we'll just head back to Mamoni. Yeah, so when you see the sky going dark like that and like all these glittering lights, it normally means that Odin's around. Hello, Mamoni. Welcome back, Claire. I'm reliably informed that your foray into the Deepcroft was a success. Nor did I expect anything less. Baltaron's ringing endorsement left me in little doubt to your capabilities. Even so, you are to be commended. Lord Levin asked me to pass on his thanks. I must say it's something of a relief to be able to call upon such a capable adventurer. Sadly, death has become an ever more common occurrence within our ethnicity of late. Times being what they are, the guild is constantly inundated with petitions, and we are hard-pressed to find enough hands to deal with them all. That would be hard, huh? While this means no shortage of work for able souls such as yourself, it also provides ample opportunity for the inexperienced to overreach themselves, with predictable consequences. As if to illustrate the point, Eorzea gone and it's all your fault. If it hadn't taken you an age to heal him, he would still be alive. But I tried. He bolted out of range before I could finish the spell. He shouldn't have been so hard-pressed in the first place. We should have done more to lighten his burden. To the hells with this pathetic excuse for a party. I'm leaving, and it'd be too soon if I never see your faces again. Goodbye and good riddance. I'm leaving as well. I doubt this comes as any surprise, but I never liked you. I only suffered you for your healing, but you couldn't even do that one thing right. Cruel though this may sound, you brought this upon yourself. Oh, and by the way, of some parting advice, get rid of Eorzea's head. Bury it, cremate it, do whatever the hells you like with it, but for God's sake, stop carrying it around. It's just get rid of it, alright? Wait, don't leave me alone, please. I'm so sorry, Eorzea. Please forgive me. That is just cruel. Some friends. Scenes like this have become all too common. That makes a dozen times in half as many days. Now you see why I'm grateful for adventurers of your experience. I can send women like you on a mission without worrying that you might not return. Well, not so much at any rate. Speaking of missions, I would entrust you with another. About a bell ago, I received a message from my counterpart in Udal. She needs the services of a reliable adventurer, and you are nothing if not reliable. If you think you might be interested in this task, say the word, and I will be glad to share the details with you. Sounds good to me. And we are going to call it there. That really was fun. I hope that you all enjoyed the little adventure. And you're going to be looking forward to the next part, where we head to the dungeon in Udal. So, until then, which is going to be called Call of the Desert, hope you all have a nice time in Eorzea. Bye!